Hi guys, I rather fancy using the little electric motor that's in this toothbrush. That's an Oral B Pulsar toothbrush to power a small boat. Now I could make a boat, but as I've got my grandchildren with us and they do like having baths, I saw these little tiny baby boats, as they call them, that I know my youngest grandson will like to play with in the bath. So I thought it was an excuse to buy the pack. I'll pinch one of them and see if I can make it an electric boat, and he can have the other four. So the first thing I'm going to go and do, I'll pinch the red one because that one looks best in the videos. I'll go and make sure it floats first. I've checked it floats okay with the addition of a AAA battery and the electric motor sitting in the back, and it still floats with that lot. As you can tell, I haven't actually taken that toothbrush apart. That's because I've got plenty already. If you want to know how to take the toothbrush apart and get the motor out of it, and how to get the little weight that's on the end of the shaft off the shaft, have a look at my help file. In the video description I'll put a link there that shows you how to do it, and that'll save us a bit of time. The electric motor, which I've already taken out of the toothbrush, I've extended the wires on it, and to connect the wires to the battery I'm going to use a couple of neodymium magnets that I'm going to solder to the ends of the wires. I've used them before, as you can see here, and if I use this type of battery, it just happens to be a rechargeable one, you'll see that the neodymium magnets are actually attracted to both ends, so it must be some sort of ferrous metal they've used. If I try this battery, they stick at one end, but they don't stick to the other end, so that battery will be no good. The little boat has already got two holes there, so I can poke my wires up through there, put the magnets on and use a little bit of blue tack just to hold the battery in place. The motor I'm actually going to put in the water. I'm not going to worry about it getting wet. I'll just hot glue it straight down there. Now the biggest problem will be some sort of propeller, because you don't get very many small propellers. I'm just looking around for a piece of thin metal that I can use to make the propeller, and I've just taken apart this 9-volt battery for a different purpose. I'm going to use the connector on a different project, but this metal is quite soft that the case was made from, so I'm going to see if I can punch a hole through it with a nail. If I can do that, then I should be able to fit it over the shaft and cut it into a very small propeller. It doesn't need to be anything like as big as this, it's going to be tiny when I've finished with it. It's a matter of being able to knock a hole through it. That's worked. So that's our propeller, which we can twist the blades Remember they're sharp, so don't cut your fingers on them. So that's our propeller. As a bonus, I'm going to make a little rudder to go on the bottom. So I've cut a bit more of that metal or tin plate, whatever it is. I've got a paper clip here. So I'm just going to solder that in place. And then I'll hot glue that on the back of the boat. There's our motor in place. Battery. So I'll bend this. Let's cool down. Just glue it along the back there, and then I can adjust it by bending it. Now to see if it works. I'll set the rudder over a little bit. I reckon that works. Just see if I can turn the rudder the other way without it snapping off. Oh, I love it. Can't get much easier than that, can we? So that's an Oral B Pulsar toothbrush motor. Check out the video description for a link to how to get it out of the toothbrush. A little toy boat for my grandson, youngest grandson. A AAA battery, which happens to be a rechargeable one, and it's also one that I can use magnets to make the electrical connection. I love that. That works really well.